Hi everyone, my name is Ellia and welcome to, or if you're a real one, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be getting my driver's photo taken. This is going to be the photo that goes on my permit and most likely goes on my license. When I get it, if I get it, me on the street is like that. It's not something we want to think about, right? But it is something that we have to think about because it's going to happen. I thought that honestly, this photo is something that's really important to me because I always see celebrities that have like the most gorgeous ID photos and I'm like, that's kind of iconic. Like, I feel like I just want to be one of those people who has the most gorgeous ID photo and can just be like, bam, 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 guys, I did it. You know, I feel like it's like school photos, ID photos. It's like, you just can't make them look good, but you can. I feel like one of my goals today is definitely going to be keeping in mind I'm doing photo makeup, not in-person makeup. I need this to look good for photos. Very smooth, whatever, very blended. Nothing harsh, nothing crazy. But also, someone told me that it inverts your face. So I think symmetry is also important. I want to try to make my face look as symmetrical as possible and almost just fix the parts of my face that aren't already symmetrical and make them symmetrical. Yes, I look like this, but I don't have to for much longer, so. All right, so if you see me looking down here, that's because that's where my mirror is, so yeah, that's like why. But I'm just gonna start out by trying to color correct my face. I feel like when it comes to doing photo makeup, this is so important to just make the colors all look even and smooth. Basically, if you go in with an orange color corrector on places on your face that have undertones that are more of like cool tone, like purple or blue, things like that, it cancels it out and basically it shows less through your foundation. So this is good on spots where you have hair growing under your skin, bags under your eyes, maybe scarring on your face from acne that's, you know, more purple toned, like over here. All right, and then after I do this, typically I go in with like the littlest bit of setting powder on top of it. I don't want it to blend in with my foundations and concealers when I put them on top. I just want it to, you know, do the work underneath to conceal those purple tones. As you can see, she's already going to work. Okay, and I feel like with the type of makeup we're doing today, less is definitely more. Just because the more makeup you use sometimes can promote texture in your face, which is not what you want to show up in photos. That's why it's important to use things like color corrector underneath so that you have to use less foundations and concealers after the fact. I'm just using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation right now. It's pretty affordable. You can get it really anywhere. And I feel like there's a lot of people who stand by this, even though it is like a drugstore foundation. So with things like this, I really think that like blending is the most important thing ever. It's just blend, blend, blend. Like even if you think that you fully blended it out in an area, make sure to just keep patting it in because it can never hurt. All right, so now I'm just kind of going in with concealer underneath my eyes, my nose, all the places that I want the light to be focused in on my face. And then I'm just gonna use the slightest bit of it underneath here. So I'm just gonna keep kind of going around a few times to just really make sure everything is like set into the skin so that it doesn't end up appearing cakey or just patchy, because that's never a good look. All right, so now is typically when I go in with setting powders, except like you want to be careful when it comes to setting your face a lot with photo makeup, because a lot of setting powders, especially, let me tell you, this Coty Airspun powder, love it so much, but for flash photography, it is not it. But it is the only powder that I have right now. So I'll just make sure to use like a little amount, enough to set my face, but I'm not going to use it to like brighten anything up or anything like that right now, at least. So like with the powder, I'm gonna use the same technique of patting it in place, but almost, you know, dragging at the same time as patting, but lightly, so that I can get a nice smooth application and honestly just look face in an airbrush, but in real life. I love times like now where I can really just sit down and do my makeup, because I feel like I'm used to always just rushing it, but I love when it's actually, you know, for something important to me, and I can really just take time and just use all of the techniques that I've learned in my years of doing makeup. You know, I really feel like I tend to rush, and then everyone's like, you can't do makeup, why are you doing makeup, you can't do makeup, like, because I tend to just rush and not really care for it. But I feel like days like today where I really just get to sit down and just make sure everything looks perfect, it's like just so fun to me. It's so therapeutic and it's so relaxing. I just love taking the time that I don't have because I have to leave in like 30 minutes. So I'm doing the same thing that I typically do, is basically baking before the baking. Except I'm just being more precise this time around and making sure just to really pat the powder in there and make sure that it's really seeping in and not just sitting there on top of the skin. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and do my eyebrows, and I feel like this is an important step because my eyebrows are really what throws off the symmetry in my face in like school pictures and stuff like that. Story time sometime. But basically, this eye is different than this eye because I got punched in the face. But it's fine. I don't know. Every single picture before I got punched in the face, my face was even. My eyes were both like... And then ever since, it's just like this eye's like this. It's just different. I don't know. But I think it's very important. I want to make this eyebrow look like it's raised up higher, so that it looks like my eyes are more even. And I want to make this eye look like it's opened up more, so that it's even to this one. So I think the way that I'm going to make this work is I'm just going to follow my natural brow on this side, but I'm going to bring it in a little and out a little. And then this side, I'm going to draw up a little bit further above right here. I have all these shadows from this palette that I glued onto one. I believe all of them are Morphe shadows, but I'm gonna go in with one of these to do my eyebrows. I think I'm gonna start with this one just because it's gonna take the most work and precision. Also going to just brush up my eyebrow hairs because my eyebrow hairs love to be little brats and just fall downwards. I don't really know why, but they literally will never stick up. Now I'm thinking like these aren't looking the most even, but honestly, I'll just be like, I'm just kidding, they won't let you do that. I'll be like, they look fine. All right, I'm good. So as I run out of time here, I'm gonna start going in and contouring and bronzing up the face because I feel like that's also another important step. Other than the lashes that I'm going to go in with, the lashes are going to be my own little like special touch to the picture. But other than the lashes, everything is supposed to look fairly like natural and smooth. I just want to have like a airbrushed Facetune look. Like I just want to look like I just have a Snapchat filter on me, but I have no makeup on. If that makes any sense at all. So I'm just going in with a little bit of bronzer by my cheekbones, and obviously the application for this is a lot easier because I didn't set my whole face, so the places that I didn't set is where the contour and bronzer are going to stick the most, which is exactly what the plan was. But with this also, I feel like it's best to have a lighter hand with it, and you can never add too little, but you can add too much, so it's good to just start with a little and blend it in. I just feel like now I'm almost starting to rush because I'm running out of time and I didn't really think it through. Like I always take like an hour and a half to get ready at least. So I don't know why I thought I could give myself an hour for this, but I did. I've been trying to record so many videos and so much content for you guys. I was so insecure after I posted my video about my wisdom teeth removal surgery because I felt like it wasn't, you know, what I had planned. It wasn't what I hyped up, and it wasn't a video that I really enjoyed. Normally I can watch my own videos in the editing process and be like, oh, this is so interesting, like I love this, but this just wasn't the case for me. It was kind of just something where it was like, oh, I just have to get this done and put it up, which is the opposite of what I want to be. Now, I feel like a super important step, to me at least, is the nose contour with this. This is something that I want to be super careful with because a lot of times I can make it look super crazy on accident, and I want this to just look like the natural contour of my nose. Now, the only place that I'm gonna bake in this video is going to be around my nose, just because I went a little bit crazy with the contour. Then I'm just gonna use a tad bit of blush to add, just like tap a little bit of color back into my face, just so that I look more natural and lifelike. I look like I'm blushing, like ooh, it's a little hot in here, girl. All right, so I'm gonna put on my lashes real quick and I'll be right back. Imagine that. All right, so I put on my lashes and mascara. I also put a little bit of white eyeliner in my waterline on the bottom. I feel like that just really opens up the looks of the eyes, and I really like the way that that looks. I'm gonna deal with the little bit of powder that I have left next to my nose. Rather than wiping, I'm just gonna pat that into place right here. So I'm going in with some highlighter. I'm gonna try not to use too much, but I like using a little amount that makes it just look like my skin is almost dewy again, like this, because when we use a lot of powders like that, it takes a lot of the moisture away from our faces. So it's good to go in and add some like highlighter, and it'll just make it look nice and snatched. Just be careful when adding highlighter around textured areas, because then you're gonna be able to see the texture a lot more than you would have without the highlighter. Now, when it comes to highlighting my nose, I like to do a little dot above where the actual tip of my nose is to make it look like I raised it up. And then just do a little line on the bridge of my nose. And then just use what's left over underneath my eyebrows and in the inner corner of my eyes. Very last thing is the lips. I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Lip Injections lip gloss real quick first. And then go in with this Morphe 2 lip oil on top. All right, so that is the makeup look all completed. Wish me luck. Let's hope I don't sweat this off. All right, everybody. So I basically passed my permit test, which I think everyone does. Like, that's whatever, girl. I was very nervous because I feel like it's a very common sense test. I'm not a girl of common sense. What goes on up here is not typical of what goes on up here in a normal girl. But it looked good. My face looked so symmetrical. So I can't wait to show you guys what it looked like. I mean, nowadays my makeup is looking so gross just because it's been on so long. I also didn't know it was 100 degrees outside. Yeah, I wore a jacket and it was 100 degrees outside. So my makeup looks like this now. But you know, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to go down below, leave a like and subscribe. I hope you all are staying safe and happy and healthy. And that is all for today. Mwah.